So here's the update on using the Unihertz Jelly Star. Modern day life is hard, guys. This is, this video is going to turn into some borderline existential crisis. So I'm looking right now on my table. I have 6 phones here. I go through phases sometimes with my phone usage. Back in the day, this is years ago before COVID, I wanted a smaller phone. And I got this Unihertz Atom, which is still maybe my favorite recent phone that I've ever had. Waterproof, rugged, all this stuff. Smaller, 4 inches. Awesome, right? The issue with this particular model is that the Wi-Fi goes in and out. So that means it's not reliable. I kind of want to get another one, but I feel like if I do, then there will be a next model coming out in about a month. So yeah. But after this, for some reason, I was like, I really want a bigger battery. This is good, but this is 5 years ago when I was like a smartphone addict. And I just want a bigger battery that'll last me a while. So I got this big hunking fuck over here. So the average smartphone right now has about 3500 to 4000 milliamp hours in the battery. This has 4,000. This has 13,000. This is 4 times more than any modern smartphone, pretty much, or 3 to 4 times more. This is ridiculous. This pulled my pants down if I wasn't wearing a belt. That was a phase I went into. Then, I got a more normal size phones. Ended up falling on fairly recently the Galaxy Flip 5 because it's a modern phone and I can, flip it, close it, and I can use a small screen as a phone. But the issue with this is it's a square, so things don't work very well. Everything's too wide, and there's no, you can't use it as well, pretty much. So I still did want a smaller phone, so I ended up getting the Jelly Star to also curb screen time. Again, this era, yes, I was on the phone pretty much all the time, like a modern millennial, for sure. But in the last year or more, year and change, I've been really mindful of that kind of stuff and what this kind of stimulation does to our brains. So got this Jelly Star by the same company here, Unihertz. This tiny phone is sick. I love it. I really do. I was thinking, hey, how far can I go? So I got this phone. I got these 2 phones at pretty much the same time. This AGM M7, which is basically, so you guys know the Cat S22 Flip. That was basically a shitty Android phone with the keypad on it in a flip phone format. This is that pretty much, but in a candy bar format. So as a touchscreen, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff on this. But the thing is, it's like, if I'm going to be using this, I mean, yes, it has the body here, but I can't just focus on that. For some things, it forces you to use a touchscreen. And it's like, at this point, why don't I just go back to the Jelly Star? Because the screens are almost the same thing, except I'd be cutting the fat, So this I used for a day-ish. And then this phone came in, the Sonam XP 5S, which is more how it looks. It's a phone that has a keypad, and it functions like that. No touchscreen. It works the way it works. This battery is awesome. It's around the same as this one, but because of the lack of touchscreen and lack of things to do here, because unlike this where you can kind of just download anything you want to, assuming the screen isn't too small, this one you can't really download anything unless you hook it up to ADB. And even then, most things just do not work. They just don't start or they don't show up properly at all, period. So the battery is awesome. I used it, and you know what? You know what I found? I was happy with this. I was. I would check my phone very infrequently throughout the day as an impulse. Just, oh, yeah, did I miss a vibration or something? No. I got very, very few notifications, very few, like at all. I know some people were saying, oh, because no one likes you. I was happy not getting those notifications. It was awesome. I pulled it out. I saw nothing. I'm like, it's awesome. And I put it away and let the brick sleep. It was awesome. But I was thinking about just the future and some stuff. And apparently, I found out in Europe, Sweden, I'm assuming most places in Europe will follow suit. You need a smartphone for digital ID, for banking, all this stuff. You need it. Need it. And in the future, I kind of want to go to Europe to live because America sucks. And I feel like America will implement something similar as well. So, well, this is awesome. I feel like I would just be this there'd just be a time bomb of smartphone requirements needed. And I have a fear that these smartphones will become more and more required. They're going to be more invasive, things you can't take off so easily, just be super tracked as we already are. And they'll just make everything so stimulating, and everyone will just be addicted and tracked all the time, and it'll be even more dystopian than it is now. So why am I saying that this was great? Well, my family is Latino, so trying to text my mom here, and my Spanish isn't the best. Lo puedo hablar, pero no puedo entender, todo. So I'm trying to speak to my mom, texting, and it's like, I really wish I had a translator on this. Just to translate that one word here and there. It's like I can't. I'm not home. I'm not gonna go to the browser, go to translate.google.com. That'll take 50 years to on this phone. Ah, damn, that sucks. And then I had to, go somewhere. I'm like, oh, how far away would that take? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I can't really check on this because it would take forever to get there, and I wouldn't be able to see much anyway. So I just, you know, use the car's GPS to figure that out, I guess. And again, there are workarounds to this kind of thing. I can just write in English to my mother. I can just go to a computer or something, translate, whatever. I can just go to the car's GPS or whatever. There are workarounds for a lot of these things. But I don't want to take the mindset that phones are bad, phones are bad, phones are bad. They're not objectively bad. They have some like people are able to create entire businesses off of their phone and just make money. That's crazy. You can communicate with your entire family who lives in Spain or what have you, just with a little thing in your pocket anytime. That's cool. The thing I'm trying to do is find a balance. That's the whole point of all this, all this shit. Trying to find a balance between living in the modern world, not being basically harassed and attacked by tech nerds in Silicon Valley, but also being able to take advantage of that stuff too. The conveniences. There are conveniences to this stuff, but there are a lot of inconveniences as well. So we're trying to figure out the inconveniences of this phone are great. I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying there are great inconveniences to this. Be missing out on a lot of possibilities. Yes, there are a lot of workarounds. I can just get a handheld GPS. I can do blah, blah. There's a lot of other stuff I can do. But at a certain point, I will just be inconveniencing myself. I'm not just living simply like I'm fucking myself over every day after a certain point. So I think I could probably live with this phone for a while. I think I actually could. But I know at a certain point, the inconveniences will be too great and I will be lacking the conveniences. And I know some people are probably saying, oh, you're being a pussy bitch, backing out, going back to slave world, smartphone land. Not exactly, okay? What I'm going to do is I was going to go back to the Atom because I think it's probably a perfect phone, but the Wi-Fi It's kind of an issue. If the Wi-Fi is not, if it cuts in and out, that means certain features just don't work. If I want to have a video call, it won't. This phone's a little older, so it's not going to seamlessly go to mobile data and just what it's going to just fuck up the whole thing. So, but it is waterproof and it is rugged, so it is great. I would love it. There is a smaller one. This is the Atom L, actually. The regular Atom is the same size as Jelly, but it is weaker. So, why do I need a powerful phone if I don't want to use it that much? That's the thing. This phone, despite being super tiny, has really good specs. You would be surprised. That means I can do everything I need to very quickly. Now, what I've done is kept it in grayscale. I use Niagara Launcher over here, which means it's just these apps here. And if I want something specific, I can search for it. But there are no colors for me to kind of like, whoa, what's this notification? There's none of that shit. It's just words, dots, and that's kind of it. I took off anything that I don't need. Like there's just no social media on this. There's no, gym app or anything like that. Like I'll just use the little barcode on my wallet. There's no, like if I want to do something, basically if I can do something on my computer, I will just take it off my phone. That's what I'm doing now. I turned off pretty much all notifications on this besides email, text, WhatsApp, and calling. Beyond those, nothing will get through to me. Nothing. Period. I won't even get a little LED light up here. It just won't happen. I can configure. See, this is another thing why I think it's a good convenience. On this phone, the Sonum, there's no do not disturb mode on this because I don't know why. There's no scheduled do not disturb mode, so I can't just say, hey, after a certain hour, I just don't want anything at all. So I had to kind of silence everything, which is kind of cool. But again, if something important is happening, I would miss it. But then I also put myself at risk at ruining my night if something happens. This phone does have do not disturb, but again, it has a touch screen. So at this point, why use this when I can just use this so that whatever I do need to do on a small screen can just be done very quickly. And in addition to the grayscale, in addition to the launcher, in addition to the notification stuff, I'm going to put this, I don't know where. I'm not going to put it on my desk, on my table, whatever. I'm going to like leave this shit in my bag or across the room or a different room more often. Because when I was using when I was using the Sonum, like I said, it was awesome. Just checking, seeing nothing. It's awesome not getting notifications. I'm not gonna lie, it is sick. In modern day, like seeing nothing on your phone is like this is great. I love it. So in addition to just wiping that, I'm just gonna put it in a different room or across the room over there, leave it with my keys somewhere so that I can hear it. Someone's calling me, but I'm not gonna be like, I just walk over there and casually grab. No, I'm not gonna do that. Now, I think I've lost my train of thought here, but what I was going to say with the conveniences for the do not disturb that this has and that this doesn't is that I can configure stuff. As in, I can set it so that in Google Messages, I can put every message silent and then choose specific people to either vibrate or make a noise. So at this point, pretty much any message I get is not seen by me until I open the phone. So there's no vibration, no sound, unless it's a family member. They have vibration privileges, and a couple of them have sound privileges, which sounds kind of funny. I'm giving certain people privileges to, be heard, but it makes it better because when you have all this, you ever seen someone's phone, like an old person or a young person, you ever see their phone as like 50 notifications? And it's like, you really let all these companies just bombard you with all this useless shit all the time? I'm not like that. I'm a notification Nazi. I don't let it happen. I don't let notifications. When they say, can we allow notifications? No. Straight up no. And then apps that I do need it, I configure as much as I can. I don't let it pop up. I make it silent if it's not important. If it is kind of important, I'll let it vibrate. If it's crucial, like a family member or something reaching out to me, I will give it sound. Beyond that, no. No one's going to be bothering me. That's it. Only people who are like, I'm not saying everyone else can fuck off. What I'm saying is, if it's not urgent, I'm not going to let it urgently alert me. Okay? Send me all these messages, blah, blah. It's fine. But I will get to it when I see it, not when I hear it, because I won't hear it. So, yeah, I think all that stuff will help because at a certain point, I think, and this sounds conspiracy theorist, but I really do think at a certain point, everyone's just going to be kind of forced to use a smartphone of some kind. So I am going to stick with Android as best as I can because they let you really get crazy with customization. You can use ADB, just kill system baked programming so that even if it comes with a phone, you can just get rid of it. You can just get rid of anything you want really and customize it to an insane degree. Never going to use an iPhone because they're for cheap. I'm just kidding, but Apple treats you guys like your users. With Android, every user is an administrator, and I'm going to administrate the hell out of my phone to just get used to it because at some point I think we're all going to be forced to use it. Like I can't imagine using this in 2030. Like I don't think you're literally going to be able to. So I will take extreme measures to prevent the inconveniences of smartphones. I'll just get used to doing it now, just to get the usage under control, build these habits now. I feel like it's going to happen one day, you just literally can't use this because 4G's cut out or whatever. And then you're going to just have to use some kind of smartphone. So I'll look out for, it sounds like an ad, but it's not. I'll look out for Unihertz's stuff because they're the ones who make these tiny phones that function pretty well. So I'll just check that out, get those phones, take out the spyware shit from it via ADB, and then customize the hell out of it. And then I'll have a device that will do what I want. And I won't be at the beck and call of anything because it won't be calling for me unless I let it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. There's the update. What a fucking journey that's been.